Welcome back to the Book Nook Corner. It's Courtney. Hey guys, welcome to today's video. I'm sorry if you hear a computer running in the background. It's because there is a computer running in the background. I turned it on and then forgot how loud it is, and you are currently held up by the Twilight series. Jacob and his big muscles holding you up over here. But today is going to be a little bit of a March reset. I have not done one of these in a while. It's going to kind of be my own spin, my own twist on it. I hope that you guys enjoy, and let's get into it. First, we're going to talk about my February wrap-up, and I'm going to look on my phone. I don't currently have all the books that I read with me, but we are going to look on my phone because I have my little list of, if you can, wait, let me turn up the lighting on my phone. That might help. My little list of 2025 books that I've read so far. It is kind of laughable. Don't laugh. So we are going to go through that because, as you guys know, February was a little bit messed up for me just because I keep hitting my mic, and I'm sorry. It was a little bit messed up for me just because we did get sick like barely 2 weeks into the month, and that threw me off. I was in a weird slump. And then for, you know, obviously February is like a little bit of a shorter month by like 3-4 days almost, really. So yeah, it just kind of was a weird month. So I worked my ass off the first couple days of March to finish 3 books that I was reading, and I was really like far into them before that happened. I mean, I was at least like 50-60% before I got sick. So I worked really hard, tried to finish them within the first couple days of March. I made it happen, minus 1 book. I did not get Tress of the Emerald Sea finished like I wanted to. I'm still currently working on it right now, but it's going to take me a little longer than what I wanted. But we're just going to keep working, keep trying to go. I have the audiobook, so I think I might finish it via audio. I'm about 150 pages in, but that's like the only one that I didn't really get to that I really wanted to, like within February. So the first one is The Well of Ascension by Brandon Sanderson, which is the second Mistborn book, and I gave this 3 stars. I liked it. I like the series. I'm excited for March to read the 3rd book and just kind of be done with the series. I like it, like I said, but like it just, this second book especially was really slow for me. It was really sloggy, and to get through it, I had to finish it via audiobook because I just couldn't do it. It was like a lot, and I was frustrated. I was getting frustrated because I just found myself really zoning out and getting bored. And I don't like doing that with books. Usually when I do that with books, honestly, I just put them down and move on to something else. But since we're doing this readathon or read along, I really wanted to continue, and that was my incentive to continue and to finish it. So I have to say that I'm glad that I did, and I'm excited to, you know, finish the trilogy, but like the original first trilogy or whatever. But yet I am kind of glad it's over with, if that makes any sense. Hence why I gave it 3 stars. I like all of the main characters. I liked the plot. It just was slow, and the political stuff just kind of drags me down because I'm just not a political person. So anyway, Brandon Sanderson's writing is very good, and I'm very excited to continue the rest of his books and series and whatnot. But yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on that one. The next book that I finished was Royal Assassin by Robin Hobb. This is the 2nd book in the Farseer trilogy. And this was a chunker. This one was also kind of slow, but at the same time, I would have to say I liked this more than The Well of Ascension. I did give this one 4 stars. 4 solid stars, I might add. I just absolutely adore Fitz and Molly. If you know, you know. Same with Night Eyes. If you know, you know. I adore Night Eyes. Like, just, that is one of my biggest, like, since I've been a kid, I've been obsessed with like all things like animal connection, like any sort of mental connection. They turn into animals and connect with them, like whatever sort of bond that you would have with animals. I've been obsessed with that since I was a kid and read so many books about that. In fact, I probably could go through my little like kid library over here that I have from when I was a kid and show you guys some of the books I'm talking about. That could be a whole video in itself. But right now we are talking about Royal Assassin. And so yes, I did finish this one also on audio because it was just getting a little bit like wah-wah and like slow, but it picked up and it got so good, and I'm so glad I finished it, and I can't wait to move on to the third book in this trilogy and then read the rest of her books and her trilogies, because her writing, I don't even know how to describe it. It's just its own little thing. She is so unique and so different from any other author that I've read, and I don't even know how else to describe it other than just it's amazing. So the next book that I read was Yumi and the Nightmare Painter by Brandon Sanderson. I did read my book box edition from him. So it had all of the kind of special artwork. I will maybe pop up some pictures of that here. So it was fun as you were going through the book to kind of see what the characters looked like, to see what they were going through, to see some of it turned into a painting, basically. It had a lot of Japanese and Korean culture, and I loved that. Absolutely loved that. I found it super fascinating. I loved the two main characters and their kind of very subtle love story. It was very different. Brandon Sanderson was smoking something when he was writing this book. Like, that is the only way that I can describe it.
What even was that?
You get to the end, you finish the book, and you're like, what did I just read? But yet it was like a train crash, right? Like, you know it's coming, you know it's messed up, but you can't look away. You can't look away. And that's how this book was. And that's the only way that I can describe it, because like, it just was strange from start to finish. It was weird, but it was just so good. It was so good and interesting, and it kept me intrigued the entire time. I gave this one 3 stars just because it was a little odd sometimes, and maybe necessarily not up my alley, but yet I still enjoyed it though. Such weird like thoughts here, such weird contradicting feelings going on, but that's just how it was. And all the people in my Discord book club that we read it with felt the same exact way. So I know it's not just me. So the last one that I finished for March, or for February, I actually did finish this one within February, was Shadow of Night by Deborah Harkness. This is the second book in the Discovery of Witches series. I gave this one 3 stars, maybe 3.5. We'll up it a little bit because it was very good. I love the two main characters. I am buddy reading this with my little book bestie, and I was reading this with her. I'm super glad that I read it, and I'm excited to get to the third one and kind of finish like the original trilogy. But I do have to say that like it was a little bit sloggy. It was a little bit historically heavy for me. And I just was kind of like getting a little bit bored with it by the end. I kind of just wanted it to be over, and I feel bad. I feel like in some ways that was kind of just the theme of the month. But at the same time, I know that a lot of that was just because like I wasn't feeling good and I had been sick and I was slumpy, and it was just like a weird month because I already, starting March, feel like rejuvenated with my reading. So like I know that was a lot of it kind of influenced how I felt towards my books. That was kind of all. And then like I said, I read a good bit of Trust of the Emerald Sea. I just need to still continue and finish that. Clearly did not get as much read as what I wanted to, but here we are. That is that. And yeah, so now I would like to move on to kind of what I'm currently reading and what I'm going to be starting, what kind of my TBR, even though I've gone through it, just kind of like my immediate TBR with you guys. And yeah, we're just kind of doing some random stuff in this video. It may not be your typical reset video, but it is what it is. So we're just going to kind of wing it here and just go through what I want to share with you. This is kind of embarrassing to talk about for, you know, like what I'm currently reading or what I'm planning on reading within March, but I just ran up the steps, down and up the steps, so I'm currently out of breath. Can you guys see the gigantic pile of books? I did not realize that it was in frame. I am currently in the middle of quite a few books that I don't necessarily plan on finishing within March, but like we're gonna get a good chunk more through them. And that would be the Empyrean series. Me and one of my patrons are buddy reading all of the ones that I'm about to talk about, which I didn't really mention per se in my TBR video because it's just kind of cray-cray. But anyways, we are reading the Empyrean series. We are reading like 50 to 75 pages a week of each book because we've read, like it's like a reread situation. So like, yeah. And we are annotating them and then sharing our annotations with each other. So I am only 75 pages in. As you can see, there is all of my annotations for Fourth Wing. So I thought I would just try to do like a little flip through. And I'm doing like at the end of each chapter, a post-it note of kind of my thoughts and reactions to that particular chapter. And let me tell you, I am enjoying this so much. It's just slow, it's fun, I just love it and adore it. I'm 75 pages into this as well. 75 pages into Onyx Storm. There's all my annotations or my tabs. And just, yeah, just like so much fun. This is so fun. Like, I highly suggest it to anyone. And then the next 4 we are reading together. We are only reading like, I would say maybe 100 pages a week, probably not even. It's just like a certain amount of chapters, and I don't know exactly how many pages it is, but I'm just having a blast. Is, whoops, the Ember Blade. So all 4 of the ones I'm going to talk about, I'm immersion reading, which I've never immersion read like this many books at one time. And I'm getting through them so much faster because while I'm listening to the audiobook, it's keeping me like I have ADD. Like, I'm not officially diagnosed, but like I know I do. I know I was undiagnosed as a kid. Like, just 100% know in my gut that I have it. Anybody watching my videos would probably 100% agree. But anyways, so I find that whenever I immersion read, I'm actually getting like more read faster, if that makes sense, because I'm not distracted. I don't have anything distracting me. I have to pay attention to be able to keep up with the audiobook and like follow, and I'm just adoring it. So this book, I'm on page 209. I'm loving this book. People, if you like John Gwynne, if you like Brandon Sanderson, that is what this reminds me of. The writing, the story, it's medieval epic fantasy. The 2 main characters right now are best friends. There is a funny, like, there's a funny guy, I mean, his character to me is kind of like Russian-y, the way that they're like portraying it. And he's just like a rough and tumble guy, but he doesn't really speak a lot of like English, and so his quips are so like just hysterical. I don't know why, they just make me laugh. Anyways, he's kind of like the winner right now, like as far as characters go in this story, but I'm just so intrigued and I can't wait to read the rest of my chapters. I have them all marked for this week because we talk about it tomorrow night, and I'm just like, oh, I can't wait to get back into this book. The next one that we are buddy reading and immersion reading is When the Moon Hatched. This is my Patreon book of the month for February and March. I really like this book. It was a lot different than what I thought it was going to be, honestly. I was kind of shocked by how different it was. I don't really know what exactly I was even expecting. I couldn't even really tell you, just that it was different than I thought. But I'm liking it, and it's very easy to read. It is a thick girly, but it doesn't feel like it when you're reading it. I'm on page 179 of this. As you can see, I have from this bookmark to that tab to get to by tomorrow. So that's fun. But like I said, with the immersion reading, it keeps me like in the story and just can go and read and get it done. So I think I might try to immersion read more because I read so much faster that way. The next book we are immersion buddy reading, whatever you want to call it, is The Sword of Kaigan by M.L. Wang. This book, same thing, is totally different than what I thought it was going to be. I thought When the Moon Hatched and this one were going to kind of be like back in time, if you will, and like they're like pretty modern day, both of them. So that surprised me. Sorry I keep hitting my mic, but I mean, that didn't take away from either of the stories as far as enjoyment goes. So I am on page 183. So I have from that bookmark to the next tab to go by tomorrow night. So lots of reading today and tomorrow to get these up to speed with my buddy read. But I just adore the characters in this, the story so far. I just can see where it's going. All of these are 5-star feels. I love the Asian vibes in this, and I'm just so excited to continue this book and read this author's newest book that just came out, I think this past fall, Blood Over Bright Haven, I think it's called. Looking forward to that one as well. I've heard it's amazing. The next and last book that we are buddy reading is Jade City by Fonda Lee. So we just started this one. We just added it to the mix. So I'm only on page 50 of this. We are only reading 5 chapters a week. I am immersion reading this as well. It is on Hoopla through my library, the audiobook. I had actually started this and owned it quite a few years ago, and it just wasn't for me, like at the time, like I wasn't vibing with it. I think I mentioned this in a previous video, but so I just like gave it away, and I'm like so regretting that now because I'm like, what was I thinking? Like I've heard nothing but amazing things about it since then, and starting it, and just even within these 50 pages, I'm like,
yes, give me all the Asian vibes.
Give me all the mafia vibes, give me all of it. Like I am really enjoying this so far, and like I said, I'm only 50 pages in, so I really like regret like being past Courtney and like her decision. Like what was I thinking? But anyway, so I'm excited to continue reading this one and immersion reading it. The narrator, I love the narrator, she's great. The next 4 are buddy reads slash read-alongs slash book club books, and that would be Daughter of Smoke and Bone. This is one of my Discord book club books of the month for March. If you would like to join my book clubs, join my Discords, join the fun bookish family that we have on there. You don't have to join in any of these reads if you don't want to. We talk about all kinds of other things. It's such a fun environment, so go check out the links down below if you would like to join any of that. But yes, so Daughter of Smoke and Bone is one of our books. Our other March book of the month is Gild, which I already read, so I'm just excited to talk to people about it. But this one, I am 105 pages in. I do like what I've read so far. How many pages are there, actually? I think there's only like 427, so not too bad. I've heard really good things about this. Like I said, I've liked what I've read so far, and I'm just excited to get to it. It's YA, so it's not like too heavy and hard to read, which is good. So I'm just excited to continue this and keep going within this world. The next book is Hero of Ages, which I'm actually waiting until I get the audiobook from the library. Is it library or my husband's Spotify? But I have to wait until I get like my hours or whatever again. Like I used up my hours on his Spotify. So anyway, this is the 3rd book in the Mistborn trilogy, and obviously by Brandon Sanderson. I'm excited to finish this series. This is a chunker. I believe this is like 700 and some, yeah, like 730 some pages. So a big book. It doesn't really look like it, but the pages are thin. The text is small, as you can see. So I may have to, I can smell the dust on this from it sitting on my shelf forever. But yes, I may have to kind of really use the audiobook to my advantage and get through this book. But I'm still excited to get into it. Like I said, I'm probably going to have to wait until this weekend to start it. I'm trying to finish Tress of the Emerald Sea before I start this. So the next book is Assassin's Quest by Robin Hobb. This is the 3rd book in the Farseer trilogy by her. And we are having a read-along. Obviously, we're having a read-along of this on my Discords as well, and then a Robin Hobb read-along. We are having so much fun. Like, I absolutely love this. April is going to be even more fun as far as, like, how many books and like the read along and like what we're doing, plus all of the April books of the month that you guys picked, because there's so many fun books, and my birthday month, and like, yeah, so much fun stuff coming. Anyways, so Assassin's Quest, I am so excited to get into. I actually have the physical book. I have the audiobook on Hoopla, and I have the physical book coming today in the mail from Amazon. So I have kind of like a book haul. I have a bunch of books coming, so I may add that to the end of this video and show you guys my little book haul that I have coming, because there's like a couple that I'm really, really excited about in there as well. And then the last book that I'm buddy reading, yes, I'm crazy, is Rebel Witch by Kristen Ciccarelli. So this is the 2nd book in the Crimson Moth duology. The first one was Heartless Hunter. I flew through that book. I absolutely adored it. I read it this past summer. It was like one of my favorites of 2024. I loved it. So when this came out, I actually got it like almost 2 weeks before it debuted or came out, released for everybody else from Book of the Month, as you can see. I am going to buddy read it with a Discord member. So I'm just excited to get through this. So this, The Hero of Ages, Assassin's Quest, and Daughter of Smoke and Bone are my 4 like priority for March. And then the rest that I mentioned, we are just slowly reading, buddy reading. If we're behind, we're just like, hey, I'll catch up with you in 2-3 days. Like, it's no pressure. So I'm not that worried about it. But like these 3 and then Assassin's Quest are my 4 main priorities for March. So I don't think that's too crazy, you know what I mean? All right, so next I would like to share my most recent little book haul with you guys. I keep hitting this mic and I'm really sorry. Oh no. Oh my God, that landed like perfectly on the floor. So anyway, this is a book haul, well, kind of just like a book and bookish haul that I did get quite a while ago. Not quite a while ago, a couple weeks ago. And then I have 5 books coming later today that I'm really excited. So like I said, they should be here actually in like 30 minutes max, it said. They were like 5 stops away. So I love when Amazon tells you that, because then I just like stalk them and I like watch my app like
where are they?
Well, I will just share this one and then I can interject with while I have my camera set up and I'm in my room. I thought I would just share this one. And then when the other box comes, I will share that later. So anyways, I, since reading Variation by Rebecca Yarros, have recently gotten into romance. So clearly I've read romances within my reading career, which has lasted 30 years at this point, almost. And I just adore her writing, and so it was easy for me to like it. But I've tried other contemporary romances and they just kind of fell flat for me. Like, I'm 100% a thoroughly fantasy reader. Like, that is just my jam. That is where my heart lies. Like, that's what I will always gravitate towards. But I thought to switch things up, I would just get some newer romances. And so some of these are newer. Some of them just recently came out. And the covers were just too cute for me to pass up. They were too cute. The first one in this list is Holding the Reins by Paisley Hope. As many of you know, I have been involved in horses and ridden and owned and showed horses my entire life. Well, I shouldn't say that. I didn't start till I was almost 11 years old, but to me that feels like my entire life. So this kind of just caught my attention, honestly, with the cover. And it is only like 350 pages. Doesn't look like it would be that much, but yeah. Anyways, here's the description if you would like to know. And so I'm excited for this. And then there was a second book. I believe these are like interconnected standalones type of situation. And that is Training the Heart by Paisley Hope. I mean, even her name sounds like horsey, southern cowgirl-ish. Here is the description of that one on the back. Then I got Give Me Butterflies by Jillian Meadows. Meadows, butterflies, that's so cute. I just adored this cover. Like, look how cute it is. And he has glasses. So cute. Here's the description on the back. So yeah, this one isn't too horribly thick either. It's only like 350 pages. So excited for that one. Then I got Under Lock and Key by Lana Ferguson. The spine is plaid. I am very Scottish. I had a little soft spot for like his little kilt because like I grew up with like the men in my family wearing kilts. Like, not even kidding. Not even kidding. And so I just love this. And I'm super excited to get into this. It is based in Scotland. Whoa, these are so floppy. There's the description. I feel like this camera, I think it doesn't like, I don't know. It tries to focus on me and not the book. So I guess I need to like cover my face up. Then the next one is Collide by Bal Cabra. This was really popular on TikTok, I believe, or something. I don't have the TikTok app. This is a hockey player and a dancer, I think. Something like that. But here's the description. This is the next one in the series. I believe there again, it's an interconnected standalone. But that is Spiral by Bal Cabra. Obviously, she's a ballerina. Variation was about ballerinas. This was the first one I found and what got me like down the hole of all these books. Here is the description. The next one I got is Beneath the Stars by Emily McIntyre. So I just picked this up at Walmart the other day. I adore the cover. This was a cover buy, but like just look how pretty the sky is. So pretty. Here is the description. It sounds so good. And this one is actually, it's like 500 pages. Yeah, it's 500 pages. So kind of thick for a romance, really. And then the next book I got was Deep End by Ali Hazelwood. I loved the edges. They look like water, like it would look like in a pool, obviously. And there's water droplets on it too, if you can see them when you move it. I've never read an Ali Hazelwood book. This one is fairly thick too. It's 450 pages. But I just, from a person that I trust, heard this was really good. And so I don't know. I was curious to try it. And I got it at a local bookshop that I was supposed to go for a Galentine's event. And we were going to get a book, like a date night with the book type of situation. And that's when I was sick, so I didn't go. So I had to go back later and pick up my book. And so while I was there picking up my book, I also purchased that. But the book that I got for the event was Wolf Song by T.J. Klune. So I read, Beneath the Sea, or what's the Beneath the Door or something. It's like the one where he goes to like the little orphanage type situation. That's the only T.J. Klune book that I've read, and I enjoyed it. This is I think a gay love story, pretty sure, and there's 4 books. If you look on the back, here's the description. By the way, I didn't share the description of Deep End. Hold on. It's not one of my videos if it's not chaos, you know what I mean? But anyway, here's the description of that one. So yeah, and this has sprayed edges too. It sounds very good. So I'm curious about that one. And then when I bought all of these romance books, like the original 6 that I showed you, which is these 6, I also got some more tabs, highlighters, and a new bookmark. So the bookmark came in this like super unique little box that pulls out. Like, what even is that? And this little like nameplate thing. And it is this butterfly. So I don't really know why this, like how you're really supposed to use it. I guess you let it hang out the end. But I just thought that like the butterfly part was really unique and pretty. And so yeah, I was excited with that. It was only like, I think $6 or something. It wasn't insanely expensive. And then I got these chunky highlighters. So I've been seeing these around and like they're just like so chunky, and I thought I would give them a try because normally, you know, I use highlighters like this or like these mild liners whenever I'm annotating and stuff. And so I thought I would just try something different and try these chunky ones. I wanted to annotate some of these romance, and then to match kind of the covers and the highlighters, I got this whole pack of new tabs. So the Mr. Pen tabs are 100% my favorite, especially these ones with like the little circles on them. Love them. And so yeah, I was just like really excited with all of these new kind of, you know, just really colorful, pretty little items. Yeah. The last thing that I recently bought was this coloring book at Walmart, actually. And it is a Everyday Magic Cozy Fantasy coloring book. And I just thought that it was so adorable. So let me kind of flip through and hopefully you guys can see some of those. I adore coloring, like when I'm reading audiobooks or listening to audiobooks. I just find it really relaxing and calming. And it's also something that me and my son like to do together. So I just thought that one would be really pretty. I feel like I've been talking your ear off. So I'm going to go through my journals and show you my kind of March setups for everything. So in my weekly planner, which I adore, my weekly planner, it makes me so happy. I've kind of showed this, I think, in another video, but I thought I would just show you again as part of my March reset. But there is my weekly planner for March. And then my first week setup, which I need to fill out today because it's already Tuesday. So I need to fill it out more. But there's my setup there. So I haven't done next week yet. I usually do the following week, like on Sunday, because then everything that's coming up is kind of fresher in your brain. Then I have my physical book journal, and I haven't really added anything to that other than to kind of mark like what my Courtney's Cozy Corner book of the month is, what my Book Nook Corner book of the month is. I need to actually write like what I read. Like I need to mark the books that I read for February in there. And then this one is my memory journal. So I did do my February spread, I'm sorry. So there is kind of what I got up to within February. These are our sicky pictures up there. So yeah, kind of what I got up to in February. You could pause it and really gawk at it if you would like. Here is my kind of like review one, like my monthly review. So I set up for March and then I put my reviews in. So these are my 2 reviews, of Shadow of Night and Yumi and the Nightmare Painter. They're so shiny. So if you want to pause and read that, you're welcome to. And then this is my March. This is my physical one. So here's my March physical setup / spread for the month. If you guys would be interested in seeing me set those up, let me know. Because like I feel like journaling and stuff really isn't something that I've ever heavily gotten into on this channel. But it is something that I love doing and that I enjoy doing. So if you would like to see me set those up, let me know, because that could be something that I feature for April. So in my ebook and audiobook journal, I need to add our April and May. This was our February and March book. I need to add our April and May book, which is The Flame and the Dagger, or The Dagger and the Flame by Catherine Doyle. I'll put the picture up here somewhere. If you want to join in on Patreon for that, the link is down below. And then this is what my bestie and I are reading for March, which is the 3rd Zodiac Academy, which I've actually already read, so I don't really have to worry about that one. And then the Book of Life. So we are reading that one for March. So I guess I should have put that in my little TBR that I kind of went through with you guys, but I'm not that worried about it because I have it on ebook on my iBooks, so I can just read it like quickly at night. It won't take me long to get through it. And then I just added this the other day, so bear with me here. I did not measure anything out, which I should have. This was all freehand, so you can tell that like it's a little off, but I still like it though. I found this on Pinterest. And yeah, so I'm a little bit off with my measurements and stuff, but like it's how you kind of figure out your favorite book of the year. So those are my 2 for January and February. And I'm excited to like completely fill this out, maybe add some stickers, I guess, to that. So that's that one. And then this is my ebook and audiobook like review journal. Yes, I'm that extra. Don't judge, okay? But here is my review for The Well of Ascension and Royal Assassin. I am really thrilled with these. I think I did good. So pause if you want to read. I'm really finding my groove with my journaling. And then here is my March monthly spread, which I also really adore. So yeah, I'm just excited to continue with my journaling journey. If you guys want to see videos of me putting stuff together, like I said, let me know. That is all for this little portion of the video. I guess I shouldn't really say little because my camera says I've been recording for 45 minutes. Yeah, so I will get back to you with some other stuff and some of my book haul stuff, hopefully coming later. And yeah. I thought I would just give you a little refresh, a little spring refresh that I did at my desk. It's not much, but I just kind of added a couple little different pillows and added back all my purple and pink stuff. A little twinkly lights, some flowers. Flowers. Added these there. This is a really cute little flowery background. I did want it to match the one that I made on Canva. This is actually one of my Patreon benefits. I make these. I think I'm going to start it as like a thing at the beginning of the month. I'm going to send you guys like whatever the season is. Like it's going to kind of go with the month, but like a screensaver for your computer. I did make this on Canva. This is my little Surface that my husband got me. And I wanted to put it on here, but for some reason it won't let me do it. This computer is so old and I think it needs an update. So Anyways, and then this is like my main desk, so don't mind the gigantic pile of books over here. But yes, so I did do this new little background, the Book Nook Corner by Courtney, and then I added, this is like my Patreon planning station. Love my little notebooks. I did add these little flowers and my cutie little, very pink Hello Kitty. This little game over thing that I found. Flowers. This was from my hubby. So cute. Look at the little house. So yeah, just thought these were like adorable and I love them. And I thought they were just like so springy and happy. So just thought that I would show you guys. So next I want to redo my little area right here. It's still kind of like a Christmassy theme. Miss Zoe thinks that she needs to be the boss. This is like her little hovel. She comes up here literally every day and sleeps. And it kind of drives me crazy because then I constantly have to wash these blankets because they have massive amounts of cat hair on them. And I just washed them yesterday. So yeah, anyways. I guess I shouldn't begrudge her a comfy bed. I'm sorry, Zoe. But yeah, let's get to work. I'm just going to kind of like redo this space and just make it more springy vibes. Here is the finished product. This chair is super old, so don't mind kind of the floppy thing. That's why I added this, because there's not really a ton of cushion back there. But yeah, I did have like a very fairy vibe going from this. I did also add this little deal here on my bookshelf too. If you can see it, looks very cute. I did have a very fairy vibe going, but I just decided to kind of pull the Hello Kitty out and just make it very pink and happy. So yeah, that is the little vibe here that we have going on. I think it looks really cute, actually. Hey guys, it's the next day, and this is so random and so weird. My camera died yesterday, and whenever I went to unbox my book haul, and so I recorded all of it, and it just didn't stick. It's nowhere to be found. So I did already unbox these books. So I'm just going to show them to you. You're not going to see like the technical unboxing, but you're going to get the book. So anyway, the first box had 2 pre-orders that I am super excited about, and I cannot wait to show you. The first one is one that I have like, I literally pre-ordered it the second that she announced it on her Instagram, and that is The Rag Picker King by Cassandra Clare. It is so shiny. Hopefully you can see it. This is the sequel to Swordcatcher. I loved Swordcatcher. Absolutely adored that book. So the second that this was mentioned, like I said, like I was like all over it. And because I pre-ordered it, I got like a special edition kind of thing. I think she mentioned it in her video or in her Instagram, and then I wasn't really sure exactly what it was. But upon receiving it, it is, well, this special cover. Like, look how gorgeous that is. I am so excited to read this book. This was just like something I have been waiting and waiting. I was just as excited about this as I was Onyx Storm. And I'm sorry that it's so dark. It just like got really cloudy and dark all of a sudden outside. So the next pre-order in that box was The Scorpion and the Night Blossom by Emily Wenzhou, I believe. This cover is absolutely beautiful. Look at the sprayed edges, and then the inside, and then the front of the hardback. So the naked cover. Oh, and the spine. So just really pretty. I feel like they're upping their game with like making books prettier that like aren't necessarily special editions from like book boxes and stuff. Then my second box that I got was full of some goodness, and that was the Assassin's Quest that I told you I was getting. So this is the 3rd book in the Farseer trilogy. So I'm super excited to get to this and to finish it. It is so floppy, flop. It has almost 850 pages.
Yay!
And then the next book that I got is Shaman's Crossing by Robin Hobb. This is book 1 of the Soldier's Son trilogy. So for April, we're going to start the next trilogy after this one. I keep forgetting what it's called, but the next trilogy after this one. and this. We're going to read these trilogies at the same time to kind of try and get through her books a little bit faster, because we obviously have quite a lot to get to within 2025, and it's our goal to like read all of them. So anyway, I do want to get to this. Here's the description, by the way, if you would like to pause. And then I did decide to pick up Frieren, this is the first volume. This is obviously a manga, and one of the girls that I'm friends with on my Discord and stuff, she absolutely loves this series, so I just decided to get the first book and give it a try, and I'm super excited. I'm not a huge manga person, but I can read some of them, so we're gonna try this. It's about a little elf, like a little magical elf, I believe, and I'm excited. So that was it for today's video, even though I recorded most of it yesterday. I'm sorry for the kind of little mix-up here at the end, but yeah, don't forget to go down and check out all of my links down below. My Discord book clubs, we have so many fun things going on right now. I love the little family that I'm building on there, and all of the fun things that we have coming up for April with all of our book club picks and the read-alongs that we have. So many fun things. Also check out my Bookstagram and my Patreon. The Cottage Fairy Society, there's 4 different tiers. There's the Wren Fairy, the Raven Fairy, the Falcon Fairy, and the Sparrow Fairy. And I have all kinds of different tier benefits, different exclusive videos, lots more content from me on there, and I'm just loving my little worlds that I'm building. So please join in. Go check out all my links. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye! We're here, we're working, we're doing it, let's go.